Hi, my name is Stephanie Burris, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the StrataSync Test Process Automation Fiber Construction Analytics dashboards. And first, let me give you a little context about where we're going with this. So, StrataSync Test Process Automation enables transformational business impact. That's because we can deploy procedures quickly that are consistent, avoiding errors and handoffs, so we can enable consistency across our team. Next, we're going to test accurately in half the time because we're going to execute a test plan that's been downloaded to our instrument, and we're going to auto-upload a closeout report. So we're going to avoid a lot of manual work and things that lead to errors that cause repeat visits. So we'll ultimately boost productivity. Third, we're going to analyze and gain insights by collecting all the KPIs in our network, and we'll move beyond painful report auditing so we can spot and address issues and have a close to perfect network. Finally, we're going to transform performance, right? That's going to enable us to continuously improve the things that our team, our process, and our network is doing so we can increase workforce efficiency, profitability, and customer satisfaction while reducing cost. That allows us to drive operational excellence throughout our process. Okay, for a little bit of a guide before we dive into the demo, here's the Fiber Analytics dashboard. How do we transform performance? Well, first we're going to find all the problems. We're going to correct them so that our network is built correctly. So over here, we're going to say, where do we need to make improvements? So we'll see our fiber summary, the number of fibers that we've built, the number that have passed versus failed, and perhaps the ones that have not received any testing yet. We can see trends by day so that we can see if a particular team is falling down on their job or struggling with some sort of an issue. And then we can see our KPIs: total loss, connector loss, splice loss, reflectance, bends, and continuity. And then we can see those specific features for individual fibers. And this happens to be from location B because we're doing bidirectional testing when we do construction so that we can determine what our upstream and downstream loss and KPIs are. Finally, just a little bit of a legend here. Green means it passed when it was tested. Red means it failed when it was tested. And gray means it's incomplete. In other words, not tested yet. Okay, now let's dive into our fiber construction analytics demonstration. First, we're going to click the analytics section in StrataSync. And we're going to look at fiber by contractor. We're going to select our time frame. So we can select a few days, today, this month, or we can go all the way down to a custom period or this year. So now that we've selected this year, what we can see is that we have the fiber summary. So we have 131 fibers that were constructed over the last year. And about a third passed, a third failed, and a third were not tested or went unreported. And if we look at the trends by month, which is right here, we can see that September improved over August in terms of the number of failures. You can see the KPIs that I mentioned as well. So the total loss, the connector loss, the splice loss, the reflectance, the bends, and the continuity. And then we can see we have specific contractors here. We have fibers that are listed here. We have the number of counts that were in the cable, and we have all of our metrics by that particular cable. And so what you can see here is the contractor that did this fiber here completely passed everything. It's perfect, perfectly built. And that's what we want to see from all of our contract teams or our direct teams that might work for us for a network operator, right? So let's go ahead and delve into some more detail. So you'll see as you curse over, you'll see exact numbers of data points pop up. We're going to drill down on Fiber Tech 3 and we're going to look at their cable. Cable J, Y, U, and location A is Frutit. Location B is Bolding. And so what we can see is we've done bidirectional testing, and we've got some areas that are problematic. So for Fiber Tech 3, we can get all those details for every single fiber that's in our cable. So you'll see, for example, right here, where we have the label. And so we've got label 110, number 10, for example. So depending on how we decide to label our network, we'll be able to drill down and see the exact fiber in the exact cable that has a problem and where it has passed or failed. So for example, you'll see all of those passed, they all look good. We get down here and we have a problem with continuity on label 113.13. So that means if this was a PON network, we would be sending the signal to the wrong termination point, and that would cause problems for our customers. We see that problem here and here as well. And then on label 121.11, we have nothing. So that means that the continuity test was not done, was not captured and reported. So we want to correct that, right? We want to make sure that every test that we specify is actually done and passes with a green. Next, right now we're looking at percentages, the percentages of fibers that are passing or failing, but we can change from percentage to number, and we can see the exact numbers of fibers that are failing. And typically, what we see in a PON network is we see those continuity types of problems that crop up. Okay, so here again, we're going through and we're looking at the different locations and getting our details by location.